First of all, surprised, haven't heard from him?
I'm not entirely surprised. I think there's a whole slew of people that P. Diddy had interactions with or worked with over the years that are hesitant to come forward. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is, what will this sort of association do for my public image?
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Because the government just published evidence that Ashton Kutcher not only participated in these freak-offs but also allegedly assisted Diddy in silencing his victims, he became embroiled in some Diddy MS in the most bizarre manner imaginable. It turns out that Ashton has been keeping some wild secrets under wraps, and the truth is starting to spill out. Everybody knows that he's been tied with Diddy, who just got arrested for some very shady activities, and now folks are buzzing that Ashton might have been using his anti-trafficking organization to help Diddy with his shady business and hold up his wife Milkoon's supposedly ear at too. With all these explosive claims and new witnesses coming forward, it's looking like Ashton's not the innocent guy that he's been portraying. Well, Diddy's arrest and upcoming trial have sent the social media teams into a frenzy, with everyone weighing in on the drama. But the Miss saw the noise. One person's silence is screaming Ashton Kutcher. Now, Ashton and Diddy go way back to the first cross path in the early 2000s, when Ashton was busy with his MTV show Punk'd. He had this idea to pull a prank on Diddy while he was scouting for the next big pop group on making the band, but Diddy wasn't having it, and he hit up Ashton and told him to scrape the plan, which he did. Luckily, the little video and combo ended up sparking a friendship between the two. I gave him a call one day, and I said, I heard that you were going to punk me, and I just don't think that's a good idea. Well, I kind of don't think that's how you said it, but then you tell a story, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you said it. I don't think that's a good idea. Is that what you said? Well, fast forward a few years, and these two were having a wonderful time together, going out, running, and shopping. It was obvious that Diddy loved Ashton, and when Ashton was listed as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, Diddy was quick to praise Cooch, adding that it sounds like Bo is a new media mogul, and I like him. He is a quiet, calm swab, but considering their lengthy history, we are yin and yang, and I'm in your face, mogul. Given the gravity of the case, several legal experts believe Ashton's silence over Diddy's arrest is a wise decision for him and other celebrities.
First of all, surprised, haven't heard from him?
I'm not entirely surprised. I think there's a whole slew of people that P. Diddy had interactions with or worked with over the years that are hesitant to come forward. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is, what will this sort of association do for my public image? A lot of celebrities, I think, really rely heavily on their public image. And with that comes, financial ramifications, possible loss of opportunities, brands that might not want to work with you if they come forward and, possibly defend him or maybe try to, explain some of his actions. So I think there's that. But then I also think there's probably a hesitancy for a lot of people to be called, even as witnesses, even if they didn't partake in any of these activities, to provide information. I think a lot of people are hesitant to come forward with that because that comes with a lot of other forms of exposure and, responsibility.
In light of recent speculations surrounding Diddy's notorious parties, there's a resurfaced interview that has sparked fresh intrigue. The focus is now on Ashton Kutcher and whether he had deeper knowledge about what went down at those exclusive gatherings. An old interview clip from 2019 is making the rounds on social media, bringing this question to the forefront. The moment in question occurred during Ashton's appearance on Hot Ones, the popular show hosted by Sean Evans. As they dived into their conversation, Evans took a shot at getting some inside scoop on Diddy's legendary parties, notorious for their extravagant nature and rumored secrets. However, Ashton was not willing to take the bait. Rather than divulging any juicy details or hinting at what might have taken place at those events, he skillfully deflected the question. Kutcher's quick shift in focus seemed almost deliberate, as if he were navigating a topic he knew he shouldn't touch. His evasive response has now stirred up curiosity, leading many to believe he was hiding more than he let on. Was Ashton protecting Diddy, or simply avoiding a topic that might have come with complications? The clip has reignited debates among fans and skeptics alike, who are analyzing Kutcher's body language and choice of words for any signs that he knew more than he was letting on. His reluctance to discuss Diddy's parties has left many speculating whether he was aware of the rumors surrounding those exclusive gatherings. The fact that Ashton didn't even entertain the question, quickly shutting it down, is now being seen as a sign that he was in on the secretive nature of these events. While no explicit details were shared, the silence itself speaks volumes, fueling the theory that Ashton was not only aware but also intentionally kept things under wraps.
The party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together.
The skeletons in Diddy's closet have fans wondering whether Ashton is just playing coy. However, what's even more bizarre is that some people are contacting the police to look into Ashton's anti-trafficking group. When his close buddy was charged with the same horrible acts, how can he claim to be an advocate for victims? The hypocrisy is evident, and many are calling for answers. Nevertheless, the indictment actually stated that Diddy had brought in some accomplices for his shady dealings. According to the documents, Combs and other associates of Combs Enterprises used their position of authority and prestige at Combs business to threaten, intimidate, and entice female victims into their orbit, frequently under the guise of a romantic relationship. In order to get victims to perform prolonged sexual acts with male coworkers, which Combs refers to as freak-offs, among other things, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion. With the help of Enterprise's members and associates, Combs transported and caused to be transported commercial workers across borders and internationally. As a result, the fact that Ashton assisted in planning one of Diddy's well-known white parties in Beverly Hills on July 4, 2009, is now raising a number of concerns about his potential involvement in Diddy's shady activities. People are beginning to question whether Ashton's involvement in the Combs empire extends beyond party planning, but more significantly, he doesn't exactly have a spotless reputation. In 2017, Ashton and his wife Mila Kunis found themselves in hot water after writing character letters in support of their That 70s Show co-star Danny Masterson, who was accused of killing 2 women in 2003. Although Masterson was eventually sentenced to 30 years in prison for his crimes, fans were quick to criticize Ash and Amila for standing by someone with such serious allegations. Their support did not go unnoticed, and it undoubtedly left many people with a bad taste in their mouths. Kutcher stated that Masterson has been nothing but a positive influence on him throughout his life. In our 25 years together, I don't remember him ever telling me lies. He has taught me to be honest and face problems head-on, work through them with others, and move on. Danny is someone who always supports you when you need him, even though I know that the judgment has been found guilty on 2 counts of gray by force, and that the victims are very desperate for justice. I hope that while determining his sentence, my testimony to his character will be taken into account. Additionally, Ashton wrote, "I can honestly say that no matter where we are or who we are with, I never saw my friend be anything other than the guy I have described." Meanwhile, Masterson was described by Mill as an incredible friend, confidant, and most importantly, an amazing older brother figure to me. She also wrote that his compassionate nature and ability to offer guidance have been instrumental in my growth both personally and professionally. Unfortunately for Ashton, those letters became public, and fans were outraged that they chose to support someone who was accused of such heinous crimes. The couple was forced to post an apology video on Instagram in which they attempted to clarify that their remarks weren't intended to minimize the trauma of the victim, but by that point, the damage had already been done.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years. so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
But unfortunately for Ashton, fans weren't ready to let them off the hook. In the end, Ashton had to step down as chairman of the board for Thorn, his anti-trafficking organization. He founded Thor back in 2009 with his then-wife Demi Moore, who by the way faced her own controversy after being caught locking lips with a minion anyways. After their divorce, Mila got involved with the organization too, but she had to step down as an observer on the board. But here's where things get darker. There's more to Ashton's past than just supporting the wrong people. He's also been tied to the tragic death of his girlfriend on February 21, 2001. Ashton had a date with a 22-year-old Ashley Ellerin. However, instead of arriving at Ashley's place at the agreed time, Ashton showed up 2 hours late. He noticed her red BMW convertible parked with the lights on, so he figured she was home. He even peeked through the window and saw what he thought were red stains on the carpet. Little did he know those were blood stains. Unaware that Ashley was lying lifeless inside, Ashleen assumed she was ignoring him because he had lost track of time watching the Grammy Wars with a friend. In reality, Ashley had been brutally stabbed 47 times. When Ashton heard the devastating news the next day, he immediately went to the police completely shaken. He later testified in court, saying, "I went to her door, my fingerprints were on the door, and I was freaking out." But that being said, Ashton was never convicted of Ashley's murder. It turned out that Michael Gullo, known as Hollywood Ripper, was the real culprit. But here's where things get seriously creepy. One of the accusers of Danny Masterson in a chilling Instagram post, Chrissy Carell Bixler, said that she was aware of certain sinister details surrounding Dear Ashton. You were on speakerphone that night when you contacted Danny on February 2nd, 2001, and I heard everything, including the plan. I believe you're just as sick as your role model. I know the secrets your role model maintains for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? In an Instagram comment, Mentor wrote, "Yes, he was in his car for more than an hour outside of Ashley's house speaking with his manager about what to do to protect Ashton's career and reputation. He then called Danny. I heard the entire conversation. Law enforcement was aware that what I'm saying is true, and Chrissy wasn't the only one throwing accusations Ashton's way. Her post shocked fans by suggesting there might be more to Ashton's connection to that tragic night than anyone realized. Aaron Ashton lied about what actually happened that night to protect himself, and if he had come clean, authorities might have caught the Hollywood Ripper sooner and possibly stopped him from taking more lives. It's a terrifying thought, and Aeon's claims have only fueled the fire surrounding Ashton's involvement in that tragic situation. Aaron Smith Levine also posted a YouTube video that revealed more details about what allegedly happened behind the scenes. It appears that CH Bixler wasn't the first person to criticize Ashton Kutcher for what transpired on February 21, 2001. Chrissy's friend Aaron Smith L uploaded a video to YouTube 7 months ago detailing what actually transpired that evening. According to Aaron Smith, Ashton Kutcher entered the house that evening, discovered Ashley Ellerin dead on the floor with blood all over it, and then left, spending an hour in his car and panicking while phoning his team for advice. In order to avoid having his identity linked to the murder, his team advised him not to contact the police. Instead, they were worried that Ashton Kutcher's reputation might be damaged because he had been on that 70s show for a few years. After talking to his team, Aaron claimed that Ashton Kutcher calls Danny Masterson, which is exactly what Chrissy claims. Additionally, Aaron claimed that Ashton's team instructed him to attend the party he was meant to take Ashley to, and that it would not have been possible for Ashton Kutcher to see red wine stains on the carpet from the window. Not only would it have been too dark in the house, but you had to go in to see where the blood was. And he said that Ashton Kutcher not only lied, but police knew he lied. And had he not lied, it could have stopped Michael from killing again because he would have been caught and arrested. Assuming that's true. The real question is why the LAPD would cover for Ashton. Well, according to some theories, it's because he's allegedly part of a certain cult, one I can't name here because of YouTube guidelines, but here's a hint. It starts with AS. Remember how Ash and Amila supported Danny Masterson? Well, Danny was a part of that same cult, allegedly, and the women he violated were former members. A lot of folks online believe Danny may have been passed with recruiting Ash and Ale into the group, but did Ashton take Danny up on that offer? Well, Ashton and Danny were very tight. Not only did they work together on that 70s show, but they also co-invested in a restaurant. Plus, Ashton performed at the cult's annual Christmas Stories event in 2003 and 2004, which benefited the Hollywood Police Activities League. It's enough to make people wonder if Ashton was more involved than he's letting on. And as for the case of Ashley's passing, well, some fans think it was the members of the cult who swooped in to save Ashton. One Redditor wrote the Lip-D supposedly has deep connections with cult officials and has been accused of covering up crimes for the organization in the past. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Ashton made a call to Danny that night and was blackmailed into writing the letter that said Ashton's got way more disturbing skeletons in his closet. It's the fact that he made a bet to French kiss Mila, who was 14 years old. FYI, Ashton's older than her by 5 years. You know what's funny is when she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right? And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like slightly a lol, your first kiss ever, right? It was my first kiss. What, some a bet you made with Danny about our first kiss? No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like a second or third kiss. It was the third kiss. It was the first. It was like the first week. No, it was not the first week. Whatever, let me tell you what happened. No, let me tell you what happened. No, okay, I never kissed a guy. So I mean, you know, Ash was attractive. And I was a 14-year-old little girl. And I was extremely scared for life. And he was very nice about it. He was like, oh, don't worry. So I was like, okay. Then Danny goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her. What would you stick your tongue in my mouth? Since Diddy's arrest, Ashton's been under the microscope. And it looks like his marriage might be on shaky. Sources close to the couple are adamant that these accusations are completely unfounded. One insider stated that the allegations are untrue, and another source stated that Ashton has no involvement in any of this and doesn't belong in this conversation about Diddy. Ground speculation began when the couple was spotted out separately with their children in Los Angeles on September 20th, 2024, just days after Diddy's arrest. Fans immediately assumed that divorce might be imminent, but Ashton was digging his own grave and might be considering a split to protect herself and the children. Since Ashton has only seen Diddy at a few social and business gatherings that have all been covered by the media, it is impossible to know what is truly happening behind closed doors. As a result, it doesn't appear that Ashton will be addressing Diddy's recent legal issues anytime soon. He appears intent on avoiding another Danny Masterson predicament for himself. But there is a chance when Ashton was seen in Los Angeles immediately after the federal agents' raid on Diddy's home in April 2024, many fans conjectured that he was there to assist the authorities.